I'm just trying to paste one in here. It did come through. So this is one that came in live. We're an existing successful business with a long track record. We're developing a strategic plan and a business plan to raise capital to help us expand. I would love to hear you discuss how the strategic plan and business plan can work together in a situation like ours. Erica, you want to take a first stab at that?
Sure. I'm happy to take a first stab at that. I think we've been working on this a lot lately. One of the issues is having too many plans in an organization and what's the purpose of each. And so based on the question that was submitted here, it sounds like the way that you're using the business plan is as a document to raise capital, as you mentioned. And so I think a business plan has a couple of purposes. A business plan has a purpose as an external document for fundraising, obviously. Sometimes we use the word business plan to mean the very specific runway items that we're working on over the next 12 months. So that also can be called an operating plan. So we connect the business plan and the strategic plan at the operating level. And so my recommendation related to that is, the way that we built my strategic plan is that we kind of call it like an all-in-one plan. You've got your strategic plan that starts with, of course, you've got your mission, vision, values, but you would have that in both documents. But you've got your strategic plan that articulates those long-term strategies and roadmap down to almost to the annualized level, and it's at that annual level that you take those goals, and that is what gets operationalized in the next 12 months on a quarterly, or monthly basis or project basis, depending on how you're planning. And so it's that break point from the corporate level goal, the corporate level annualized statement, and the department level goal, or specific big rocks for the year. It's right there that if you're making a break between a strat plan and then you're going to just have a separate document that's a business plan and/or / an operating plan, that's where we sync up our business plans and our strategic plans. So that I'm saying that, and I'm using the word business plan as it relates to specifically turning your business plan into an operating document. If we're using our business plan as specifically an externally facing document, then I think there's a lot of harmony between the components of your strategic plan, your SWOT, your budget for, your forecast, your customer segmentation, all the market analysis, all of those things, your roadmap that gets used between the business plan and your strategic plan. I think some of the stuff that finds itself in a business plan for capital purposes that you don't always have in your strat plan is a more further explanation about why you exist as an organization, what the business case is for why you're looking for funding, of course, and sometimes even more detail related to organizational structure and all of those things that as you said, an operating business with a long track record, you don't always feel the need to articulate that if it's just an internal document, and the strategic plan tends to be more internal in that regard. So hopefully I answered that with some level of succinctness. But the first thing I would say is be really clear about what the strategic plan is doing for you as an organization and what the business plan is doing for you as an organization, and then understand where your sync-up points are, and I just mentioned where a couple of those sync-up points are. Cam, you want to talk about it from a communication perspective, as these two documents have different communication purposes?
Yeah, I can. My initial thoughts when looking at this question are that, the business plan, as you said, in all of its functionality, it varies from how this successful business with a long-term track record, what that says to me is that you have established relationships with your vendors, perhaps, or with your customers, or with other businesses. So where the business plan might deviate, like Erica is saying, that's the area where your strategic plan can help address those shifts that business plan may be proposing in order to expand your growth. So knowing how that would impact your employee knowledge component, your customer experience, and such, that's another way that you can pull in those components of your business plan into how you are going to strategically sort of walk that path that you've outlined. So being able to communicate both perhaps is important. Internally, Does your company understand the trajectory that the business plan takes you? What does it mean for your company's vision and values, and how does that tie in? That's a communication component that can be addressed through strategy. What does it mean for customers? How is this business plan and potential deviations or changes that are associated with it? How does it impact them, and why should they weather the storm with you if you think that there's going to be external things that are visible from a consumer perspective or a customer perspective? So you want to make sure that they're aware of the benefit that should be coming to them, because I would assume that any plan for growth somehow will benefit customers, and if you don't know that right now, to find that out so you can start communicating that efficiently through strategy.
So maybe just wrapping on this, because I do think this is one of the big sources of confusion, is naming things what they are for your organization. Strategic plan being a long-range document that helps you articulate those core underlying strategies for your organization. And strategic for us, we're using the word strategy, and a strategic plan is a strategic plan, not just a plan, when it includes competitive advantage, when it includes a full understanding of the market and the market dynamics, when it includes a longer range view, whatever long means for you. At minimum, I would try to get to that 3-year mark. I know that's hard, and that it clearly articulates that vision, that future state that we're really trying to get to. And I would argue that a good strategic plan at its core serves the purpose as an engagement document and a guiding document and a management tool internally for the organization. If there are components of that document that work externally for funders, for customers, for partners, great. But let's first make it work as a management tool for the organization. So that's the first point, or that's the point on the strategic plan. On the business plan, again, being clear, because we use a lot of different words for that. If it's an external document, as noted, that serves the purpose as a fundraising document and almost as a marketing document, and you could see the overlay of components from your strat plan into your business plan, maybe as probably this person is doing, as you're doing with yours, probably sharing your strat plan and your business plan. Normally in the business plan, you're making more of a business case about why you exist, again, your history, things that you probably wouldn't feel the need to do in your strategic plan if it was just going to stay internal. And the second thing is, sometimes we use business plans synonymous with operating plans, and my recommendation on that is identify the sync-up points. Don't over-plan your strategic plan if you do indeed have operating plans. Be clear about where that break point is and that alignment. And my recommendation is your strategic plan absolutely needs to go to the SMART corporate goal level, and then from there, departments or teams or divisions would cascade from there, and that may look like an operating plan, that may look like a marketing plan, that may look like a project plan. So there's all of our planning stuff. So